Hello and welcome back to the retirement adventures of Ray and Carrie. I can't believe that 2023 has already come and gone. It's like just yesterday we were planning our last adventure and now we're planning 2024. And I'll tell you what, 2023 did not disappoint. We had an absolute blast doing everything that we planned to do and that we hope to do. And in this video here, we want to share 4 things with you guys, and we hope they're helpful. Number 1, we want to just share some lessons learned. We want to provide you with some helpful hints. We'll talk a little bit about our budget, and then finally, just some fun facts that we hope that you'll enjoy. The first lesson that we learned, and we really learned it when we first retired, is that number 1, this is retirement and not vacation. One of the things Carrie says all the time is that this is our life. This is how we're living right now. And when we first retired and left the States and went to Ireland and Scotland, and it was just go, 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 go. And it was so fast and furious, enjoyable, unbelievably enjoyable.
But kind of like a vacation.
It was, and just like you, we took vacations every single year, and you just had to do everything that you could possibly fit in those 2 to 3 weeks. And we tried to do that when we were in Ireland and Scotland. And at the end of it, we were just really tired, and so we looked at ourselves and said, we can't do this for the next 4 or 5 years. We're going to have to slow it down. But slowing it down didn't mean that we weren't going to be able to enjoy things. We were just going to take it a little bit easier, because retirement as a lifestyle is really, it's a marathon, and vacation just seems more like a sprint. So remember that. Number 1, just remember that it's retirement, not vacation. You can stop and smell the roses along the way, and you can still see a lot of things in that period of time when you're out there. The second thing is, pre-planning. It took a lot of pre-planning, and I'm going to give Carrie more credit for doing a lot of that. But what are some things what were our absolutes, that we came up with before we decided to retire?
Well, we, first of all, most important for us is to find a place with a low cost of living. Secondly, it would be places that had low crime rate. We wanted to be safe. We wanted to be able to access healthcare if we needed it, so affordable healthcare. And then also beach life has always been important to us. We love the beach. So when choosing places to go, we tended to use those factors when researching.
Right, and so, you may not be the same as Carrie and I. You may be a mountain person, you may be a city person, or whatever, but you're going to have to stop and think, what are the absolutes? What are those things that are important to you and your partner, wherever you're traveling? You may be traveling on your own, but if you're traveling as a husband and wife like we are, we want to make sure that we're going to find things that are important to us. When it comes to crime rate, you can look up the safety index. There's a lot of places out there that are very safe, but I'll say this, it doesn't mean that there's no crime. There's crime everywhere. No. Now, it's just a matter of where's the lowest crime rate, And beach life living was high on our list. And the reason being, we've been married almost 40 years, and the majority of our married life was in California. And, it's not very low cost, and the crime rate can be up there. Healthcare, while it's good, it's obviously not cheap. And then beach life living, you really have to make a lot of money to live on the beach. Yeah. And we were absolutely floored, amazed. We got all 4 of those at very decent prices when we started traveling. The third thing we want to share with you is fast travel versus slow travel. What are your thoughts on fast travel?
Well, fast travel, while you can get to see a lot of things, it tends to cost more because you don't get the weekly discount or the monthly discount on Airbnbs and such. And also we tend to not be as healthy. We don't exercise on travel days as much. We're not eating as healthy. And so we found that we enjoy slow travel more. What do you think about slow travel?
Like I said, for us, it's not that we couldn't fast travel, because we don't have it just takes a lot out of you. And slow travel for me, I like being able to stay at a place 1 month to 2 months. That helps us. And again, I think you really hit the nail on the head, is that you're able to save a lot more money staying for longer periods of time. And the other thing that's really important for me is being able to connect with people. You know, Carrie knows I need relationships. I need to be with people. I need to be able to talk to people, hang out with people. You know, going to the pubs, going to the restaurants. You know, watching sports and connecting with people is a high priority for me, and I can't do that when we're fast traveling. Carrie, on the other hand, she can sit in our hotel or Airbnb or whatever and curl up under a blanket and read a book for 8 to 10 hours while I'm gone, you know, either golfing or hanging out or whatever. The other thing is eating healthier.
Yeah.
You know, we're able to take our time, shop, you know, find those coupons, find those deals, and eat healthy. Exercising, you know, seems like fast travel, we're just going maybe from one event to the other, where when we were slow traveling, you know, we're exercising. We're going out walking 5, 6, 7 miles a day, you know, and not to the next event, but just because it's the right thing to do and trying to be as healthy as we possibly can. So those are the 3 basic things that we learned. There's a lot more out there, but those are the 3 basics that we wanted to share with you. The second thing is just, what are those helpful hints? One thing is comfort foods, and
Yes.
you can share a little bit about the things we like to bring from home.
Yeah, so it was a real struggle in other countries. Even though I did bring recipes from home and I was planning to do a lot of cooking, Portugal did not have a lot of the things that I wanted. Thailand and Malaysia and Singapore definitely did not offer a lot of the things that we wanted. So for this next year, we decided to pick up a few things and we're bringing with us. For example, ranch dressing. Gotta have the ranch dressing. That means I have to find mayonnaise.
And we're not being sponsored by any of these people.
Oh, of course not. Of course not. Taco seasoning. Tacos are such an easy dinner to cook. And Ray likes these Gatorades.
The powder packs, you know,
Yeah.
because, you know, when we go hiking, you know, I like water, but I need to have a little flavor with it, you know, and buying Gatorades, you know, can be expensive, you know, or whatever those drinks are. So bringing those on, and also they don't take up a lot of space.
No.
You know, it's not a lot of weight. So bringing some of those comforts from home, you know, it makes it a little bit nice, you know. So we do that because we like to do a lot of cooking at home.
I do bring a pound of peanut butter with us, and Ray keeps trying to leave it behind, but
It goes in her suitcase.
yeah,
So-
peanut butter can cost you like $5 for a jar that big. So,
Right, and that was very shocking.
Yeah.
Travel tips, you know, we want to give you just a couple hints, you know, that we have that we want to share with you when it comes to travel and the tips or the things that we've learned along the way.
So some of the people ask, well, how do you find your lodging? And originally I used to do exclusively Airbnb, and I still, if it's long term, I typically go with Airbnb because I haven't found anything better. But if we're doing a week at a time, or when we were in Southeast Asia where it's cheaper as cheap to eat out or cheaper to eat out than it is to buy food and cook, we stayed in hotels, and I found a lot of those hotels on booking.com. They tended to almost always refer me to agoda.com, but I would start with booking.com initially. So that's what we did for lodging. For flights, always I exclusively use Google Flights, and when you do any research online, asking, you know, on YouTube, watching YouTube videos, almost everybody uses Google Flights because you can put a flight destination and date and set a tracker on it, and it'll send you an email when the price goes down. And so Google Flights tends to always give you the best flight information. But
Travel hacking.
travel hacking,
Yeah.
yes. So that, when we first started doing all this research, I started hearing about something called travel hacking. And if you don't know about it, look it up online, Google it, YouTube it, it's even better. Travel hacking is when you get credit cards, and with the credit card, a brand new credit card, if you spend X amount of dollars, you get this really large bonus on top. So bonus points, 80,000 points for Chase Sapphire Preferred. Chase Sapphire Preferred is almost exclusively the #1 recommended travel card to use. And I'm not getting any points for this either, but go ahead and if you don't have your Chase Sapphire Preferred card, get that. But in addition to that, I would get one do my minimum spend, and then I would get him one, and then we would do a minimum spend on his and get those bonus points up for both of us. And then we went to Hilton. We each got a Hilton card. We each got a Hyatt card, and various things like that. We went ahead and canceled some of our cards, but Hilton we kept because they have something called Priority Pass. And Priority Pass for $100, that's the annual fee of the card. And even though I don't use the card very much, I almost always use my Chase Sapphire Preferred. The Priority Pass is something that you get that gives you access to airport lounges. Now, this has probably saved our marriage more than anything else that we have done, because anybody who knows Ray knows that Ray likes to get to an airport anywhere from 7 hours early.
Yeah, we'll cut that out.
Okay.
But, yeah,
okay. No. Okay, but he does like to. He truly does like to get there 4 hours early. He does.
I agree.
He
with
absolutely
that.
does.
I agree with
and he factors in case we get an accident on the way and blah blah blah. So we might get to. Sometimes we can get there as early as 5 hours, and that used to annoy me, but it doesn't anymore because we have these priority passes, and we can go into the Priority Pass lounge. They have free food. They have drinks. They have coffee. They have desserts. They have really comfortable seating. They have the outlets for your chargers,
better Wi-Fi access,
better Wi-Fi,
so, yeah.
and I can just go in and read. And anybody who knows me knows I love to read. So this was a win-win, this Priority Pass. And so he has a card, I have a card. We have 10 free passes on each card, and
yeah, and if you're not, I mean, it really works for us because, we do travel a lot. We'll tell you at the end how many miles that we traveled. So we're in the airport, quite a bit. And it really helps, especially being able to bring snacks and drinks. And even sometimes, a decent sized dinner on the flight. Because sometimes, flights cost for a meal. Sometimes they don't. If you're traveling long distance, usually the meals come with it. But those are, in between. How long is it going to be? So we bring food and drinks on board. Don't bring alcohol on board because that's illegal. It's illegal. So, but those are the benefits really of some of the travel hacking tips that we want to share with you. The other thing is want to share with you just packing. Right now, I travel with just the carry-on and a backpack, thanks to Brian and Carrie, who share with us. If you're looking at another YouTube channel to watch, Brian and Carrie, a wonderful channel. They got a lot of good information. One of them was packing that I learned from. And so, because when you have baggage and you have checked baggage, if you're traveling within the United States, we'll say, on average, the weight limits are about 50 pounds, for almost every single airline, which is fine. And when we first started traveling, we really worked hard at trying to get to the 50 pounds, and we did a pretty good job at it. But if you're traveling internationally after that, those weight restrictions are different. And we didn't really look hard enough. And one of the examples was Ryanair. When we traveled using them, they only allow 44 pounds. And so if you have 50 pounds, now you're going to have to figure out what do you do with the other 6 pounds. And if you don't have room in your carry-on or your backpack, you may have to pay the extra fee. The second airline is AirAsia. They start out at 33 pounds. And so just think again, if you're in the US, you got 50 pounds, and then you have to take out 17 pounds or pay the additional fee. And if you're like us, we're living on a budget, having to pay an additional, 30, 40, 50, 60, $70 can take the wind out of your sails when you first start traveling. So, do a good job. Do a better job than we did. Just make sure you look at every single airline that you're flying and do your best to truly make within those weight limits, or you end up paying additional fees. So those are the helpful hints.
One more. Ray has made his own video on how to pack. And if you haven't watched that yet, you have got to watch it because it's very impressive. This is a man who your extra large suitcase used to not be big enough for him. He used to bring more luggage than I would bring. So he's learned to really get it down. I'm really proud of him.
Thank you. I am definitely considered an overpacker, and I was amazed still at how much I got in that small carrier that I really didn't even need. So thank you for the props on that one. All right, the last thing, or one of the other things we want to talk about is our budget.
Yes.
Turn that over to you, my love.
Okay, so as we know, we have a much better idea of how much we're going to be spending, and so as we budgeted for this year, we just wanted to share our. It looks like we're going to be traveling internationally for 6 months, and then we're going to be because of some personal things, we'll be in the States for 6 months. But for the 6 months that we're going to be out of the country, our transportation costs is going to be about 5% of our budget. That includes airfare, train, buses, cars, 5%. Next, lodging. That's our Airbnbs or hotels, and that's 20% of our budget. Food, that includes buying groceries and eating out, and that's about 17% of our budget. Next, entertainment, we spend about 28% of our budget on entertainment. We've always been the type of people that spend more on having fun than having things.
Yeah,
and that's why it was really easy for us to sell everything and to travel the world, because we've never been one to accumulate things, but we do enjoy having a good time. And then finally, we have a miscellaneous budget, and there's a lot of things in there, and that is going to take about 30% of our budget, and that includes things like our car insurance, medical insurance, medical care. We put a little bit of money every month in our grandson's college accounts, our charity, it's for phone, it's for streaming and those types of things. And
credit card fees,
yeah, because we do travel hack. And that is about 30% of our budget. And if you add all that up, it does come up to 100%.
Yeah, so, again, a side note on the medical is that, you really should make sure you put aside some money, for those incidentals. If you do need to go to the doctors at some point in time and you don't have insurance, like, Carrie and I don't, you're going to need some money. So put together a little chunk of money just to sort of keep you feeling good, just in case you have to go to the doctors. And finally, just want to share some fun facts about us and about our travels here this past year. In 6 months, we literally went around the entire globe in 6 months. We started in Arizona, went through New Zealand, Australia, went through Southeast Asia, over to Italy, did a med cruise. Then we did a transatlantic cruise from Italy to Florida, went up the East Coast in November, then back to Arizona. So we basically went around the entire globe in 6 months. The other thing that was kind of cool that I was just thinking about the other day is, when we were on our Mediterranean cruise, almost a year to the day, when we were in Portugal, we went to Spain and went down to Tarifa, and we took a ferry across from Tarifa to Morocco in October, and then
2022.
2022.
Yeah, right.
Then October 23, we were going through the Strait of Gibraltar, where we could see Tarifa on one side and Morocco on the other. So that was kind of cool, The other fun facts about us and our travels is that this past 6 months we flew 20,820 miles. We also we were in a car for 846 miles. We took a bus 794 miles. We were on a train 522 miles. The next one I wish I did a better job at, nautical miles, was around 12,000 miles, because we did 3 cruises in Australia. Then we did the med cruise and the transatlantic cruise. And then my own personal one that I liked, that I'm proud of, is that me personally, I walked 560 miles. That's a lot of miles.
I probably walked half that. It's a lot of time. He likes to get up really early in the morning, go walking, and while I stay in bed and read, and then he brings me coffee. So
gives us a grand total of 35,542 miles in 6 months. So that's about 6,000 miles a month. 2023 was amazing, and we shared our videos with you guys out there. We hope you've enjoyed them, and we hope that you continue to watch and subscribe to the channel, and the likes, and make the comments. 2024 is starting out to be pretty cool.
Amazing.
I'm looking forward to it, and we hope that you continue to watch us. And the biggest part, for us is that I don't believe we made the wrong decision.
Oh, no.
I mean, if you're thinking about retiring, selling all that you have and traveling the world, I'll tell you what, it's been the greatest decision we've ever made. And we're looking forward to what 2024 brings. And so remember, guys, as always, just continue to keep dreaming and travel safe when you're out there.